We're gonna start with set review now, and as always, I'm not gonna look at chat when I do this, so I'm not gonna answering any questions until we're done with the set. And I also have turned off notifications, so subs, resubs, and so on won't show up, and I will thank people afterwards. So if someone do sub or resub, yeah, make sure to let them know. So it's not me being a douchebag not thanking people. But yeah, let's get started. Let's get started. So Peach versus Sheik. I actually did this a few days ago as well. Gonna have a little bit of commentary on. Okay, let's get started. Ooh. I think that's fine. Normally from Sheik's down throw, I prefer DI behind and then smash DI up tilt. But I think DI forward can be fine too. You can get chain grabbed sometimes, of course, but yeah. Ooh. That jab, I do this myself sometimes, so I'm not perfect, but this jab I think is really, really gimmick heavy. That jab never works versus Mewtwo King and Wizzy. In my experience, they always get the grab. So these jabs from like Peach and Sheik and so on, they're not safe. It's more like you rely on other people not being able to punish it correctly. That jab should lead to a grab for Sheik or Falcon. I remember I played with Wizzy at some point, and I did a jab a few times in a row, and I got grabbed every time, and I was like, just please stop, please stop. I was telling myself, you know? So these kind of jabs, normally a bad idea. If the opponent doesn't know how to counter it to get their own grab, then I guess it's fine, but it's at least something to keep in mind that don't have it as like a main thing in your pressure game. Ooh. Yeah, good down throw. That's the right call. Alright, so Queso obviously already know this, but I will point out for other Peach players, the reason why down throw is good in this position is because you can't DI in front of Peach on her down throw. If you try to do, you will bounce up. And if you DI behind, you get like a tech chase scenario, and you're also like not close enough to the ledge, so she can't grab the ledge. So that's really good for Peach players to do. I actually think it's better to do that against Spacey sometimes as well instead of up throw. But yeah, Queso, I feel like in most of these scenarios you can react if they actually DI behind on the throw. Oh, that's good. That's so important in this matchup. This sneaking under, getting the dash attack. This is actually like one of the main things to look out for in the matchup. We already saw a situation slightly earlier when it quite didn't happen when we were on the left platform. We can actually go back to that. I think it was like here. It's a bit more tricky though because Spark didn't land on the platform like here. He just comes down, but these kind of aerials is what you need to beat. And the two options, dash attack and down tilt, it is the core game plan for sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, these kind of situations you really need to look out for. They might not be as obvious as they are against Marth, but like around this range is really hard to actually beat Sheik. because your fair is really slow, and we see that the fair is about to start up. Uh, and also, like, fully spaced back here from Sheik is like, it's so long. So if you have a round, yeah, okay, I went slightly too far, sorry. Yeah, you actually went down way too early as well. Um, but normally I feel like if you wanna beat Sheik with aerials, you have to be like rather really close than far away most of the time, because her backer reaches you so far. Oh. Hmm. Take the ledge. Oh. Okay, that was really good. That was really good. Uh, okay, you do not get punished here, but this is also one. Oh, this is also one situation to look out for. Um, is to act out of shield in fairly close range, but I would say this is slightly too far. Slightly too far. Because when Sheik pulls back and you commit with an aerial, normally I feel like Sheik should come out winning in this situation. So be careful with trying to overcommit out of shield, especially if Sheik fully perfect spaces her aerials. In that kind of situations, I would rather either wave dash very slightly back, wave dash down out of shield, or maybe a double jump out of shield and work from there. I feel like if you go full aggro after Sheik, perfect spacer, fair, or backer, it's really hard to actually land a straight hit just because you're simply slower. And I feel like you should have gotten hit there, but you covered up pretty good. And there he went for jab again. Yeah, jab. Yeah, even if you do land it, it practically never should lead to anything good. So just try to get rid of that habit. Uh, like either proper or more proper flow cancels into grab, or down smash if you think they're gonna roll. If you get them perfect. Jab. I would say it's more of if you really feel like your flow cancel was really bad, it's fine going for, but still not really. Not really. I think maybe you should play against Mucha King or Wizzy because they will force that habit out of you. Yeah, here's another. We talked a little bit about this earlier as well. Uh, fair, fair is just straight up really hard to hit. I think if you're gonna go for fair with Peach in this matchup, it should mainly be more if Sheik is about to land or if she's maybe already grounded. If she's already grounded, you obviously need to look out for F tilt, for example. Um, but in the air, I normally don't think fair is too worth going for. Way too slow. Oh, that's good. Take the ledge. Yeah.
This is gonna be a long match, guys. Yeah. Grab your popcorn. Go make some food. Unless it ends up being a 3-0. Guys. Yeah. Grab your popcorn. Go make some food. Unless it ends up being a 3-0.
Hmm. Ooh, what the fuck? That was crazy.
But I would be. That it could be a bit quicker. But I would be. That it could be a bit quicker. But I would be. I want to see Kalamazoo on smaller stages because it. But I would be. I want to see Kalamazoo on smaller stages because his movement, especially with. I want to see Kalamazoo on smaller stages because his movement.
Okay, so this is something I myself have tried to tell myself to do for a long ass time, but I actually think Peach especially can use this really well. So a lot of times in Melee, when you have people on platforms, I would say this mainly comes up after like tech chase scenarios. Let's say you up throw someone, or maybe with Peach you dash attack someone and they land on the side platform, and you're not sure if you're gonna be able to get your aerial in time before they buff your shield. So basically, what happens here is Spark he gets his shield up, and Keisu tries to attack him. What I have figured out that people never do that is really good. So in this scenario, instead of throwing out an aerial, uh, for most characters you should wave land and then push them off and then attack. But with Peach, you can do double jump, like no impact land, because that's faster. Wave land is not as fast as people think. So you can double jump cancel on the platform and then run to like push them off, and then hit them with down smash or nair or backer. Down smash, obviously really good at low percent because they will get pushed off, and then your down smash is probably gonna give minimum 30 damage. So that's something we will see in the future of Peach's meta. But yeah, this is more of like stuff that's probably gonna be more seen in 2019. But it's no reason not to be ahead of the curve. So in these situations, if you really think that your opponent will get the shield up in time, then instead of throwing out this aerial, you can use double jump, land on the platform, and then push them off, and then down smash or nair. Really good. Sometimes you can even get an up air too. That could lead to a longer combo. Obviously, the move of your choice will be based on percentage. But yeah, that's something to practice for sure. I think you'll find it very useful, Keisu.
Especially with Peach, it's just insane. Kalamazoo on smaller stages because his movement, especially with Peach, is just insane.
Good nair.
Smaller stages because his movement, especially with Peach, is just insane technically. His movement, especially with Peach, is just insane technically. They played on Yoshi. His movement, especially with Peach, is just insane technically. They played on Yoshi earlier set.
Hmm.
Peach is just insane technically. They played on Yoshi earlier set. Especially with Peach, is just insane technically. They played on Yoshi. His movement.
All right. So in these kind of scenarios, one thing I really like to do is when people are about to land on platforms. I use this with a lot of characters, but with Peach. So in these kind of scenarios, if they're about to land, and you're not sure will my move really beat theirs, what I like to do is I short hop, I float, and then I let them whiff their move as I fast fall down, and then I jump up and do my move as they land, like they've already landed with their move, but it's still a timing before they buffer their shield up. I think this is really good with Peach as well. It's just a good bait overall that I don't see enough from players. Now we're only about 2 minutes in to this match, so I'm not sure if this is something you already use, Keisu, but it's something that if you don't use it, I would find very useful. So instead of committing to a flow tight, this is still not a bad idea though, because that could have worked if you did an air. But another option or another tool at your arsenal could be to fall down here, like just float, fall down, and then jump and do up air or an air. Really useful. Good down smash. Alright, you don't get punished for it because you get the power shield, but this is the second or third time where I feel like you end up in a pretty scary position. I feel like a lot in this matchup is calling out when Sheik is about to get down from platforms. Um, Obviously, you can't like jump and attack every single time early, um, but it's really important to call out when she's coming down sometimes. And I feel like your default option is just to go into shield, and I personally am not really a fan of that because you shouldn't really get anything from it. Um, so I would like to see when you are because you're actually really close in terms of uh, horizontal distance. So what I would like to see more is straight up like jump or like jump with up air or jump with nair to punish them as they come down. That can also be used when they're going from a top platform to a side platform. Um, I think it was when I played Swedish at Big House 6. A lot of that can be seen from top platform to side platform movement. Call it out. Especially when you have like a not too far horizontal distance between you guys.
So something.
Okay. These type of scenarios really common for people to jump. It's similar to like when people get hit, they want to double jump out of hit stun. Uh, Here you get the jabs. Cheek goes straight to the air. You hit, and what happens here? Sheik jumps. It's really common. So that's really important to look out for. Now it happened twice in a very short time, so that could be something that indicates that maybe you're not looking for these type of situations too often. But that could be really useful. Uh,
So something. So something. I. So something. I.
yeah, like that upper. I feel like that was more like you noticed he was jumping and you try to go in rather than like preemptively like already here you can like start covering this area instead of like waiting for him to jump and now like
So something.
so yeah a little bit slow.
Never mind. Something ice and arms related.
Ooh.
Something completely unrelated. So I'm not gonna say. I don't care. But something ice and arms related. Something completely unrelated. So I'm not gonna
Didn't
say.
work out, but
Something ice and arms related.
I like the fact that you still try to cover. This is still stuff that needs to be done.
Unrelated. So I'm not gonna
So
say.
even though it didn't work out, it was like still a pretty good
There's
play.
other characters too, but it's not
Ooh.
as easy with other characters as it is ice and arms. But like just shielding the down smash
Ooh.
and like wave dashing attack as it is ice and arms. But like just shielding the down smash and like wave dashing attack was so sick. That was sick. Shielding the down smash
Hmm.
with other characters as it is ice and arms. But like just shielding the down smash.
That was actually really good by Spark.
That was so sick. That was sick. Spark knows. Spark's shaking his head. And then wave dashing out of shield, grabbing. It's like guaranteed. It may be a little harder with Sheik. True. So and almost you perform ahead, almost halfway through this match. Through this match. Ahead.
Honestly, this is also another thing. Like I've seen more and more. I feel like down smash against Sheik's shield is almost never worth it. This time you're behind Sheik's shield, and when Peach down smash, people from behind when they're back against you, it has a higher chance to like poke. But Cheek's shield is so good that I feel like Peach players need to get better at just grabbing or at least threat the grab. So maybe they will like roll instead. Down smash, I feel like it never gives us any reward, more or less. I guess Marth, Spaceys, Falcon, it pokes sometimes, especially if they miss their shieldy eye. But against Sheik, it's a bad idea. It's a habit like pretty much every Peach player needs to get out of. Oh. Mm. Yeah, I feel like over the course of like yeah practically all this game, you did punish once from the ledge on a tournament winner, but I would like to see you be a little bit more fretful around the ledge. I feel like you almost like back off to the point where Spark doesn't really respect you too much. Uh, like if I were Spark, I wouldn't really be afraid of getting up from the ledge. I would like to see you be a little bit more. How do you say like going in sometimes because a lot of cheat players or a lot of players period and I'm for sure an example of this when I'm playing Fox. Like everyone, they don't trust their ledge dashes all the time, so a very common option is to just default to shield. I know this can be risky because if Sheik does F tilt, but at the very least, I feel like if you go in once in a while, you will keep it more honest. But if you never go in, stuff like shield will be really really useful if you ledge dash. If your opponent never tries to actually punish you straight up. Um, so yeah, I would like to see you being a little bit closer when Sheik is coming from the ledge, and occasionally attack shield, and then of course sometimes once you do that, they might start doing F tilt, and then the space outside of that. Of course, it's not like one option that beats everything, but I think you back off from the ledge too much. So that's an area that could be improved on as well. Hmm. Yeah, that's. Hmm. That's actually a good play by Spark. I think more people should do that against Peach when she attacks with a turnip on shield to actually roll towards her. The future for Peach will be to use Go with backer. Uh, because I feel like that option is the hardest for current Peach players to punish. If you land turnip on shield, if they roll in, so what we all should do is just to sometimes cover the roll in option. I feel like I never see that pretty much. Ooh. Ah. Oh, this I haven't implemented myself either yet. I saw I saw Duck. I think it was Duck. He tweeted about if Sheik does a down smash on shield, you can actually spot dodge on reaction, and then you can get a punish afterwards. So that's also gonna be important for like all characters pretty much in the future. Unless you have an absolutely horrible spot dodge, then maybe you don't have enough time. It's like an easier punish. Like Peach gets float near out of shield if you only get hit by like one down smash, but the spot dodge thing is like really good based on like all positionings. Like doesn't matter how close you are. Good roll. Yeah. If you nair people, I feel like you should actually never pull turnip unless you know that they know how to Amsa tech, because pulling the turnip is gonna be bad. It's like I feel like it's just always worth it to go to the ledge instead. So if you hit someone with Peach, if you hit someone here, you should always just start going towards the ledge, because if they tech, you can often get a punish again. So here gets the nair, and then you dash away, and that was the mistake. By dashing away there, you gave up this punish. So I feel like always get into the habit of like moving towards the ledge, and if they tech, you get the punish. If they don't, well, you're not really gonna get a punish, but sometimes maybe it gets easier to get the edge guard since you're there on time. I know when I play against face roll, I got so many like punishes from him doing Amsel tech. Oh. No! You had that. You had that. I think that was just, yeah, brain fart or something. Yeah, that's the chain grab I talked about. Mm. Yeah, I think that was a pretty greedy there. First one is a really far distance, but yeah. Ooh. That was so good. Uh, yeah. Um, I can understand that you have started to default to like always grabbing to the ledge, but I would actually like to see you occasionally go for the drop air. Uh, since Sheik doesn't gain invincibility until fairly long into her uppie, so I feel like always grabbing the ledge. It kind of like lets the Sheik know that she can always like uppie very close to the edge without really adjusting her timing at all. So I feel like that's something you should like. You should sometimes. Wait, let's go back a little bit. So here you can actually start floating like more in this area, because even if you're in this area, Sheik can't hit you, but you're in a more fretful position for her for the fall bear. Um, so I think sometimes float slightly further out. You shouldn't always go for the fast fall bear, obviously, but if you start doing it like once or twice, the Sheiks will respect it, and once they respect it, if you grab the ledge, they might up be from a further distance as well. Uh, so basically, the rest of the edge guard will be easier, because yeah, you always commit to grabbing the ledge. It's still good. It's still good, but especially at crucial percentages around like 90 or 100, sometimes you can get a kill where if you just do the rinse and repeat, it's hard to get like a clean kill because you need so many more hits, especially on Dreamland. And against Zelda, I can't say shit because I lost. I lost against Blow. So you're on your own here. No, I'm just kidding. All right, that was a close game one. Yeah. Another thing I feel like I've seen quite a few times. We have not talked about it, so I could be wrong here, but if I remember correctly from game one, I feel like I quite often see Ariel into like shield fairly soon after. Uh, I know you did one Nair and then Nair again on Dreamland when the distance was pretty far that we talked about. Uh, but on closer range, I would like to see that more often as well, where even if you whiff the first move, that you try to challenge a second time, especially when the horizontal distance is very, very close. Uh, like, could be a second aerial, could be dash attack, grounded float Nair. Again, could probably have been a pretty good idea here. So like Nair, and then try to challenge again. She is really bad from above. Uh, like she doesn't really have anything that like cleanly beats stuff. And needles cover pretty far distance as well. So on close distance, if Sheik on close distance horizontally, if you whiff one move, sometimes go in more instead of retreating. Because retreating, you will most likely either get stuck in shield or get hit by one of her aerials. That was good. Yeah, no, that's really good actually. That's something more Peach players should do, where you waveland out of the hit stun, and then you get a dash attack. Ooh, that was scary. Yeah, I think a little bit of an improvement from game one at least regarding the ledge dash. At the very least, you're not super close, but at least you're fretting it with a turnip. He's still blocking, as we were talking about earlier. Uh, but you do get a dash attack, so it's at least something. The thing is also, I feel like when people are nervous, they will mess up more ledge dashes. So just the fact that you are a threat when they are at the ledge might mean that they mess up their ledge dash more often as well. Ooh. Okay, I know you couldn't punish it here, but something that can be good for the future uh, is on Yoshi's, if they come down from the top platform, they actually can't really fare all the way to the edge. So Peach being by the very, very like edge of the stage can actually be really good if they're trying to attack from platforms. The same thing as Stadium from side platforms. If they're on the side platform and they fastball with a fair, they won't reach the ledge. If they don't fastball and then drift forward, they will reach the edge. But most cheap players, as soon as they leave the platform, they fastball and attack because you want to hit fast, right? But that's something to keep in mind. Like if you're by the edge of Yoshi's or the edge of the Pokemon Stadium and they are on top platform on Yoshi's or side platform in the stadium and they fastball, then being at the very edge of the stage into like down tilt, I would prefer, is actually really good. Yeah, that's a down smash again. Yeah, it's like almost never worth it. On this stage, honest, like, of course, that was probably a mistake. But on Yoshi's, I think playing based on Randall is actually really good. Now we see that the timer is 13, which means that Randall will be out on the right side, which we can see here. I think as Peach on this stage, you should play around Randall a lot. Uh, because Peach from the ledge is so bad. But with Randall, at least you can pull a turnip and make it much harder for your opponent. So that's something to invest to as well. Just play more around Randall. If like Randall is coming out in 1 second, Sometimes stall on the ledge one time more and then go to Randall. Stuff like that is very worth it. I used it a lot against Mewtwo King, for example. I know it's not the same matchup, but the same concept still applies.
All right, back to the match. Even. All right, back to the match. Even. A minute in.
Oh.
So the trade-off with Scar choosing the stage. So the trade-off with Scar choosing the stage. So the trade-off with Scar choosing the stage is
Yeah.
the
This is again
trade-off with Scar choosing
here. It's no reason to pull backwards here. I'm pretty sure I paused at the right place. So when you're shielding here and Spark is coming down, is no reason to pull back here. Either you shoot needles, which cover pretty far distance, and either you get hit by them or you shield them. Basically, what I'm trying to say is by moving backwards here, you're not going to get a punish. It's incredibly unlikely. You even go backwards and then go in, and then you try to punish his landing. But you're too late. Like, if you're in this scenario instead, wait. Like here, start to move forward instead, you would have gotten a punish. So I feel like you default too often to like retreat slightly before you go in. But against Sheik, you shouldn't do that too much. So I would say situational awareness of when you have Sheik pretty close to you. That's a lot of times the time to go in rather than to pull back. Because pulling back, that lost you the situation, and now you got punished instead.
Kalamazoo's crazy technical movement is insane. And on a smaller stage, that's going to be a lot better than on a stage
Uh,
like Battlefield or whatnot.
oh,
Like
is that the
Battlefield
one we talked about?
or whatnot. Than on a stage, like Battlefield.
Yeah, the fast fall fair, which actually wouldn't cover the very, very edge of the stage. Might have been hard to get there as Peach in that scenario, but it's still something to keep in mind. You don't necessarily have to do a dash attack or down tilt. You could also wave dash away down smash, for example. But yeah, more about the fact that the very edge of the stage is fairly safe. Is fairly safe against Sheik when she goes down like this.
Kalamazoo taking the lead. Kalamazoo taking the lead.
Um, One edge card I like against Sheik when. Okay, so here, what I like to do often is that I do a strong, like fast fall, strong backer, delay it, and then I jump with Sheik. Kind of like, like if none gets a knee, and then he jumps after them, if they DI in, you get a second knee. And if they DI out, you still have enough time to like grab the ledge. The same concept applies with Peach against Sheik. I don't remember the percentage super, super specifically, but it's probably around like 65 up to like 85-ish. You can also, like at higher percentages, do like a weak hit, and the same concept still applies, where you hit them and you start chasing them right away. If they DI in, you get a second hit. I'm pretty sure it's some recordings of me doing that against various Cheek players. So that's something that can be really good. You get the dash attack though, so that's good.
Stops Kalamazoo from
So maybe that weak hit actually was on purpose.
Kalamazoo taking the lead.
Ooh.
Nice needles stops Kalamazoo from edge guarding him.
Also, by the way, that backer thing I talked about, like you backer, like Sheik's when she's like stuck on the ground, and then backer again, follow their DI. You can actually, if you have a turnip, you can do backer and then follow them with a turnip into aerial. I do that against ICs like Sopo quite a bit, so that's also really good.
Spark waiting for his moment. Spark doesn't seem in that scenario. With
Ooh,
if I were in Spark scenario in there, he's at higher percent. I would just went in. There's nothing to. If
how did
I
that
were in Spark
happen?
scenario in there, he's at higher percent. I
Yeah,
just went in.
yeah, that
With
was
armor
jumping out of shield a little bit too late.
percent, I would just went in. There's nothing to lose, really. But Spark waiting for his opening. I'm going for a hard read.
Yeah, Randall. Yeah,
Good call. Waiting for his opening. I'm going for a hard read.
Here Randall is here again. If you whiffed out of tumble, you
Good
could
commentary.
also have used like your air dodge, for example.
But
Do you even land a Randall? Wait, let me see again.
I'm going for a hard read.
Yeah,
It's good. Good commentating. Alright. Edge
but
lord.
yeah, Randall play really important on this stage. Oh,
All, all Spark needs down smash or all Spark needs down smash or all Spark needs
especially against American Sheik players, I feel like when Peach is at high
all
damage,
Spark needs
they want to go for so
down
many grabs. So I think
all
when you're at high damage, that's when float nair, like your straightforward attack, is like starting to get better and better. Especially if you start using shield a little bit more, so you condition them with like your shield into thinking that oh now is the time to grab, and then you float nair in their face. Uh, I feel like I've had really high success with that against practically every Sheik.
down smash or a grab with supporter. Works every time. Pretty bread and butter time.
Ooh.
Pretty bread and butter. Pretty bread
Yeah.
works every time.
Actually, I do think this is. Like sometimes I feel like you have the right idea of like you try to punish Sheik as she comes down, which is like really big. But I feel like you're almost always like slightly too late. Uh, so it's like you have the right idea, but you need to work on your timings. So it's something you really should focus on in matches in the future. Uh, I guess it comes with experience to recognize do I barely have enough time or do I barely not. So I'm not really sure if I can tell you something specific to like entirely learn it more than just like grind this out and pay more attention to it. Because if you were a few frames earlier on this over the course of these two matches, you would have had like so many more openings. Of course, you could argue that Spark is really good at picking his slots, so he's barely avoiding instead of you barely hitting. Uh, but I do feel like it's something you could work on for sure.
Bread and butter. Spark really likes his platforms. Spark really likes his platforms. Spark really likes his platforms.
Yeah.
Spark really
I
likes his
probably would have
platforms.
liked an upper here instead, but I could see why he went for the nair. But I think if he went for the upper, he would have gotten one more hit.
Seems to be working out.
And for me personally, if I'm not sure
Really likes his platforms.
if the upper or nair will be the right call, if I'm by mid stage, I always do the upper against Sheik because she's bad from above.
Mid stage. Alright. New co-commentator.
Yeah,
Alright.
kind of the same thing here as well. Like you try to punish Sheik as she comes down, but you're a bit too late. You don't really get punished for it that time though.
Penalty.
Yeah, a little bit too late that time as well.
Spark's out of this game. Yeah, I think if Kalamazoo takes over right now, you can bring it back. Yeah, because I saw the early
Oh,
replay.
good shit, good shit. Alright, so you did do that. So what I told you earlier, not as important then. But it's hard to know everything in advance.
But Kalamazoo also really likes his platforms.
Oh, I felt like that was so risky, but it still worked.
Yeah, he's really good at like, yeah, something right
That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, as technical as he is,
On this stage, sometimes I like to do the drop from platform drop from the ledge, jump and air dodge up to the side platform. It's kind of what Mewtwo King does with Sheik. Uh, it's slower with Peach for sure, but it's one additional option at the very least to get back from the ledge.
technical as he is,
It's hard though. It's hard.
watching some Peach players play.
Yeah, that was a bit unlucky.
Doing a really fast which makes makes sense. I was gonna say he's probably gonna take him that deep. Makes sense. I was gonna say he's probably gonna take him that deep.
Oh, I was a
Makes
bit
sense.
surprised you didn't go
I was gonna
for.
say he's probably gonna take him that deep, just because of how.
Yeah, that should have been there.
I was gonna say he's probably
Oh,
gonna take him
this
that deep,
actually
just because of how.
really important. If you get hit, it's so common for like mediocre and up to like the highest level for Peach players to use fall down with Nair. Good players will always buffer shield, no exceptions. I remember the same thing from like in PAL when I play against Sheik when they did like down throw dash attack and I used to like do Nair and they just shielded my Nair, and then I got like grabbed again. The same thing here. If you get hit out of, or if you do a Nair out of like the hit stun, they will always buffer shield. So it's important to recognize when they have enough time and when they do not have enough time. If they have enough time to shield, it will happen every time, more or less.
Much
Uh,
six.
that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
Chasing the roll.
Yeah, this was kind of really sadly. This match is supposed to be kind of like your favorite to see. Really sadly. This match is supposed to be kind of like your favorite to see. Really sadly.
Uh, yeah, it's kind of again what we talked about, where you you seem to really like to dash back.
This match is supposed to be
Like
your favorite to
here,
see.
you land with an aerial and then you dash back every time. So
This match is supposed to be kind of like your favorite to see.
yeah, yeah, you.
This match is supposed to
That's
be
a
kind of like
huge
your
thing
favorite
for
to see.
sure, and I see it so much. Land aerial
This match is
and
supposed to be kind of
retreats
like your
every
favorite to
time.
see.
You need to mix up and go in more. All right, it was a good fair.
Yeah, let's see.
And here's the edge card thing we talked about, where here could have been a good time to fall with backer, but you never fall with backer.
Yeah. Maybe not against Paladin in general.
Yeah, that would have been a good bear.
Yeah.
Because here, Sheik doesn't have enough time. Now, Spark have already committed uh, enough where you should get your backer.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe not against Paladin.
like, I feel like your rinse repeats, they're very solid, but the backers will mean that your edge cards can reach an even higher level.
You can kind of shake.
Like, one of the reasons Peach needs to do it as well is actually because what we see with Sheik's air dodge. Since Peach doesn't have a fast way of getting up from the ledge, she can't punish air dodges the way other characters do with like a rising aerial. Uh, so that get up attack is the best thing you can do, but you still don't have enough time to cover the ledge. So the get up attack is more like I will give them 5 damage, but
Maybe not against
yeah.
Paladin. You can kind of shake her after all the attacks.
Oh yeah, I think there it was again.
You can kind
Land
of
with aerial and dash away.
shake her after all the attacks.
And there, that also was, as we talked about.
Yeah. Maybe not against
Alright, so,
Paladin.
okay, so here, land aerial, dash away, as we talked about. Out of hit stun, fall with nair, and get grabbed.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna do that as
That was good. That was good. That was more on close range. That's more the range where I want to see you act out of shield with nair. If you're too far away, I feel like it almost never works. But on close range, nairs out of shield, really good. Doesn't always have to be forward. Sometimes you can do them in place or even slightly retreating to mess with their spacing and timing as well. Yeah. This was a good. This is a harder arms attack to punish, but it should still be ingrained that if you hit them towards the ledge at this kind of damage, always just expect arms attack. And if they do it, you get a punish, and if they don't, well, then you still get the edge guard opportunity. Yeah, yeah. You never back her. I feel like that could have been a good backer as well. Because I feel like Spark, he doesn't adjust like fast falls and timings with up B, and that's because he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to do it because you never do the backer, so he doesn't have to respect that option. Oh wait, did it happen again? Yeah, there it was again. Yeah, you really need to stop. Land aerial, dash back. Land aerial, and then do another aerial straight away. Can be good. Straight away, pulling forward, not always dash back. You didn't get punished for it, but it really could have happened. That Amsel tech you could not have done anything about, obviously. Oh. Wait, did he try to punish it again? Yeah, he tried to punish it again, but he didn't overshoot. So, land aerial and dash away. But he did not overshoot, so he lost to it. That's good. That's also, yeah, the closer range. I think it's here. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, it is. Okay, I will go back slightly more. So you have high damage, you shield, go slightly forward with Nair. Yeah, keep doing that, especially at close range. Because this is, I would still consider this fairly close. If Sheik would go like another 1 or 2 steps back, I would say that start to get too far away. But around this spacing, aerials out of shield for sure good. It's good. Ooh. Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. That time we mixed it up. Did not land. Good dash attack. Hmm. Um, this is a bit hard, but I like to do it against Sheik. Um, so in this kind of scenario, I actually really like to keep running on the ground because Sheik is so slow in the air, right? Um, and if I keep myself on the ground, I'm not really sure how to explain this, but like basically if I put myself in the air, uh, how will I say it? Uh, Basically what I'm trying to say is if you stay on the ground here, you can chase Sheik. You can chase Sheik for longer. If you leave the ground, then basically she can't be as far away from you horizontally. But if you stay on the ground, be a fretful you can be in a fretful position to her for slightly longer. Since you're coming down from above. So when you fall down, if Peach is already in the air, then it basically changes the spacing for when you can still punish her. So what I like to do is that I run on the ground, so even if she retreats, I can power shield and go for a down smash. And if you do the trigger trick where you hold the L or R button before plugging in your controller, it actually is much easier to get the power shield as well. So if I specifically go for a power shield, then I use that. Uh, and Sheik doesn't have a shine either, like as Fox or Falco. So getting the down smash punish after a power shield is also like more likely. So in those kind of situations, I actually don't even like to leave the ground. I just keep running here. I keep running here, and then as Sheik comes down, I'm already gonna be like around here ish, and then the power shield down smash. I think it's really useful to learn.
She combos Peach harder, right? Yeah. Peach can get a few hits, a few soft hits into like a really hard hit. I've seen him do some really cool stuff today, but from personal experience,
Also, actually, like the power shield thing I just talked about, it's quite a few scenarios in melee when people are like, they might be on the ground and they want to jump an aerial, and they barely do not have enough time to get their aerial out. But the power shield down smash in that scenario won't really have that issue in nearly as many situations, since you don't leave the ground, and shield is also like way faster than any aerial.
all really hard to do, and out of any, like, you can't get much out of grab. You can do like
Oh,
up throw any
was that?
can't get much out of grab. You can do like up throw into bear kind of.
Oh, that was a miss.
But there's much. And yeah, Sheik's hits are so soft too, and like Peach just isn't sent very far away with those soft. It's kind of like Ice Stars too. There's a lot of wall setups. Yeah, just like soft hitting moves, easy grab. How much is Mad doing? Just take a spot. Randall at 9. Even with Peach's horrible ledge game, he can still cover Sheik's recovery. It's insane. Yeah, I haven't seen him do any of it today, but
Yeah, down smash never pokes.
do any of it today, but it works like maybe once a turn because you can do the Peach combo and then jump out. It's really
It's
risky.
close.
You're at like 150 on the ledge.
Yeah.
It's really
This time you get the punish, but it's still the same. It's the same.
risky.
Uh,
You're at like
I know I talked about it so much, but I keep doing it just to like point out how common it is for you to land and dash away.
150 on the ledge. That was you really good at dash
Wait,
dancing.
okay, I think it was again. Yeah, land dash
Really
away.
good at dash dancing around these boost grabs and dash attacks. I've seen Spark with like 3 of them.
Nope. Wait, that was that too?
That was you really good at dash dancing around these boost grabs and dash attacks. I've seen Spark with like
One,
3 of them.
two.
I've seen Spark with like 3 of them. Different ways to fight. Different ways to fight. But that was a great save. Yeah, he has a huge counter chip.
No.
Huge turnip heavy.
The
Yeah,
backers.
he has a but he has really good counters. He likes the fresh. He loves the close. Yeah, close scenarios. Just pressuring. Oh, good, smart nair though.
Yeah, I like the fact you went for back throw. Down smash is really bad,
He did.
so I'm happy you did that. Oh.
So both, yes. So both, yes. Spark just needs one grab. That's it. Spark just needs one grab. That's it. So both, yes. Spark just.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the biggest thing is really when you land, mix up, especially more aggression.
So both, yes.
Don't
Spark just
always
needs
pull
one grab.
back.
That's it.
It's costing you a lot actually across these games.
Kalamazoo just needs like a forward air or a
Because I feel like that's like one of the biggest deal breakers from like the very top players and the rest of the top players. Is for the most part they are much more unpredictable in neutral, so it's harder to like get in. Uh, because I feel like Spark's game plan is a lot about just wait for you to land and then punish as you move back.
or an air or a spare.
this kind of distance-ish when you have a turnip, I would also like to see more turnip approaches. Like, not throwing it on the ground, but short up turnip and then start getting aerials on shield. It's actually really good in like a bunch of matchups in my experience. So this kind of range, more turnip approaches, short up turnip throw, and then start floating and then attack. Hmm. Here, as you do the upper, it kind of looks like you're not fully drifting forward. In my experience, basically always just keep holding straight away as you hit the up air. Uh, to just drift more forward and get towards them even so slightly. Sometimes that like few extra pixels can be beneficial, especially in a matchup like Sheik. It's good. Take the ledge. Yeah. Um, this is actually not really bad. I am actually a big supporter of doing short up aerials a lot of times instead of what is it called? Instead of full hops. Because if they shield, you're more likely to get punished. You do get punished from here as well, so it's not impossible. So I do like the short hop, but sometimes with Peach as well, full up air, and then you can actually nair before you land, for example. So with Peach, it can actually sometimes also be really good. So it's more about like how likely do you think it is that you land your first attack. Oh no. Please stop going back. Land. Now could be a good time to strike forward again. But you move back and you have to shield. You still get poked by the needle. Yeah, that time it worked out better. You land, but now you go forward, and now you got the opening. No. Yeah, in this scenario, never go for the ledge. It's simply not worth it. Uh, in this scenario, I would much rather you stay on stage. She can't really drift over you, so you can try to punish her if she comes down with like an area, for example. And if she's trying to go for the ledge, it still will take her quite a long time. So you staying in this area around the ledge would be much better than you just grab that ledge this early, since you don't have a way to like get up early. Oh, missed timing. No.
You know, you know, I for how good like down throw is against Peach. Stark's really good at waiting for the right moment. Yeah. Very right moment. He's not throwing it out too much where it becomes predictable. Waiting for the right moment. Yeah. Very right moment. He's not throwing it out too much where it becomes.
It's pretty risky in this matchup, but another thing I would like to see you do is doing more dash attacks to counter attack Sheik. Like I see you do dash attack sometimes when Sheik is about to like move away from you, but I don't really see many dash attacks when Sheik is about to move in with her own dash attack or her own grab. You know, like how when foxes short up nair at you, or the running shines, choose do like an early dash attack to hit them in their face, fight fire with fire. I do think that can be really good to do against Sheik sometimes as well. If you do it too much, obviously she will start shielding. So it's more of a thing to throw out once in a while. Mainly keep yourself to aerials, because they're not nearly as risky. They're actually good on shield. But the dash attack can give really good punishes. Uh, so I would like to see a few more dash attacks when you really feel like they are about to go in with either a grab or a dash attack. I think that could give you quite a lot.
He's gotten the kills when he needs
Ooh.
the kills. I can respect that. He's gotten the kills when he needs the kills. I can respect that. Or crouch cancel, Armada said that against Sheik as Peach, what you can do is you can like wave dash back and crouch cancel with that down tilt, and that's supposed to be really really good, but it's really hard to land. It's really really good, but it's really hard to land. Like Sheik does like that associated.
Ooh, that was sick. Yeah, you're good at covering the rolls in.
Scenario we've seen so many times. Both are at high percent. Will Smart get the down
Uh,
throw?
Alright, you got the down smash. I wasn't too big of a fan, but
That happens with Sheik.
yeah, sometimes if you feel like you don't have enough time,
Sheik's
might as well do it, I guess.
even Peach's life gain covered is blows my mind. This is really similar to how the earlier set of Washington fought, right? Blows my mind. This is really similar to how the earlier set of Washington fought, right? I don't know if your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
This is really similar to how the
Actually, yeah, quite a lot of your dash attacks are from the landings as well, which is good, which is good. You shouldn't stop doing them. But as I said earlier, I want to see a few more as well when you think Sheik is about to grab or dash attack.
they both have insane game plan because it's screw to her. You gotta put her on. You're gonna be upset. She's kind of
Ooh,
Smart
almost
throwing
killed.
a lot more down or perhaps Smart just trying to wear her down. Which is all good.
Good down throw.
What you're trying to do is like
Honestly, okay, so if you do this down throw and you notice that they DI away, what I would like to see you do is to move slightly closer to Sheik. Uh, for me personally, I feel like it's overall easier to get the punish because right now, like, how do you say? Like, if you move closer to Sheik, you'll be like, regardless of what she does, she won't get too far away by any means. So you keep like all options relatively similar in terms of how hard they are to punish. But if you stay in place, then it makes it slightly harder to get like both taking place and the roll towards the ledge. I know these two might not be as common on average, but I personally value that higher at the very least. So once you get the down throw, if you notice that they DI behind, then move slightly closer towards Sheik.
one thing Peach should try to do is like
Ooh.
get under Sheik. Like she is so bad at hitting.
Okay, you're getting CC grabbed quite a bit as well from weak hits. Uh, to be fair, you could have been CC grabbed on a strong hit there as well, but it also might be something to look into because I do remember a few of the other times, especially on the last stock. I think it was one of the games you lost to a CC grab. I don't remember if it was from a weak hit though. Ooh. Oh, CC grab. Uh, a good thing against that can also be to use like space your aerials really good. I like to do that both against the CC and against shield to use perfect space aerial to like bait out grabs and then go in. And since you are getting CC grabbed quite a lot, that's also something to look into. Like this backer, you could have spaced well enough not to get grabbed. No, it's not dead. Ooh, no, no! Ooh. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, get up attack from ledge is pretty gimmicky. Hmm. Nah. Here, yeah, it's no reason to go for the Nair. This Nair won't combo. Like, it won't combo and it's not high enough damage. And I feel like that's this Nair for sure, and then it was one Nair earlier that was pretty questionable as well. So sometimes look into when you do Nair and when you do up air. Because this I feel like would have been better to do up air for sure. To get one more additional hit. Like Punish Game is so much about just doing the right move. That's unfortunate. Yeah, this is something I think sometimes underused with Peach when you throw turnips on their shield. You kind of force them not to jump out of shield because they will get hit by the turnip. So that was good recognition. But that's something Peach players can be better at playing with because that means that if people try to grab you, uh, if he would have been turned, because I think he was turned, yeah, he was turned away from you. But even if they're not, a lot of times that turnip can save you even if you get shield grab. So it kind of is like more of like how do you say less risk to attack. You see in a shield grab, like the turnip will help you out a lot of times. No, he should not try it unless he absolutely dies. If the opponent covers. Yeah, here as well. Landing, shielding, moving backwards, and now you can't get punished. Sometimes you have to move backwards, but it really is your default option every time.
So, taking a smaller stage, counts to be crazy and stuff, and the platforms help them, but the risk isn't really paying off. It's kind of just running into it. Smart scan always all grass. All grass spots. Scan always all grass. All grass spots. Smart scan always all grass.
Yeah, this time I actually almost would have preferred D Nair because upper does not connect. While Nair would not have sent him super far off stage, but at least given you like an okay opportunity to edge guard. Oh, that was pretty quick.
Rarely do you see a set where both players get application as good. Or really cancel the penalty shots exactly what to do. Now, here I wouldn't be surprised if penalty made a comeback with a down session. Or a turn.
Good. Yeah, I like challenging the ledge dash. Good shit. Yeah, that's what ends up happening sometimes with the rinse repeat. You get them back in. But yeah, I think after this set review, you will start doing the backer more, fall down backer. I kind of don't like that turnip. I feel like in this scenario, you kind of have to like have the mindset that if they roll in, you need to be ready to punish, and if they don't, at least you get stage control. This turnip kind of lost you both stage control and punish. That's very unfortunate. Like, I feel like after you hit someone at higher damage, if you pull the turnip, I feel like that should be more because you can't get a punish whatsoever. Even if they roll in, you won't get a punish. Oh, what the fuck? Ooh. Yeah, no, that was pretty long set, but I feel like we went over the biggest flaws. But overall, you're a very very solid player. But I do hope these things I pointed out, especially about how you always pull back after you land, and also how you edgeguard Sheik with never fast falling down with Bear. And then everything else we went over, of course, as well. So I do hope this was helpful. And if anyone have any questions, always feel free to ask, as always. All right. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I didn't get too much sleep, so I was like, I really hope I still do it.